In this video, we're going to show you how to use Aspirant to set up multicast. In this scenario, we have one port from the Aspirant connecting to the 3945 gig 00, and then we have gig 01 on that router connecting to port 32 on the Aspirant. And the basic idea here is we're going to set up V4 multicast traffic for 10 groups and have create a host on the Spirant on 3.2 to do an IGMP join for those 10 groups. So start out by reserving our ports again. Notice before I selected those, it was actually running LLDP to find out the host name of the router. That's pretty handy. High level steps, we're going to add the devices like we always do. Then after we do that, we're going to go to Technologies, add IGMP, create a multicast group, make a stream and generate traffic to that group, and then have the client join that group. So we'll start by adding our devices for step 1. Add device. Go to 3.2, add device. Jump up to all devices. So 3.1 is going to be our multicast server. And 3.2 is going to be our multicast client, like an end station that's just interested in maybe getting video. Okay. We changed the IP. We're going to change the IP scheme here a little bit. Since we have another port, we'll make this guy .1, .2. One dot one dot one dot one. 2.2.2.2 /24 gateway excuse me 1.1.1.2, and the router's gig 01 will be 2.2.2.1. As always, we want to respond to ping. We'll apply that to the chassis. We'll start the ARP, but we haven't configured the router, so it's going to. Did I already do these interfaces? I did. Show IP interface brief. Yeah, so right now gig 00 is 1.1.1.2, and then gig 01 is 2.2.2.1. So we added our host, server, and client. They're ARPed and resolved. So now we can get to the fun stuff of actually setting up the multicast. So you do this, technology, make sure that IGMP is selected. Notice if I unselect it and click OK, that goes away. So there's no multicast group there. It is a feature you have to have a license, but we have the license for it. If I select IGMP MLD, click OK, notice what pops up over here. Now I have some multicast groups that I can get started working on. If I click Add, we'll call it Group 1. We'll do 239.1.1.1, and we'll do 10. So it'll be up to .10. Notice that when I put the number in, the end IP address changes. It's always good to have the second and third octet be non-zeros because of the OUI overlap. So we'll do 10 groups. And this is where it gets slightly tricky for people to understand or wrap their head around. We're actually going to create a stream block and send traffic from the server to that group. Okay, so we're going to go to all stream blocks, right click, add a bound stream block like we kind of did in the first video, but it's going to be slightly different here. We're not going to select port 3.2. The multicast server is on 3.1. We'll select that, hit next. We're going to say 3.1 from the multicast server, and notice what pops up here, the group that we just created. So we want to send traffic from the multicast server 1.1.1.1 to the group 239.1.1.1 through .10. And we'll do the show all headers, and then we'll add. And notice that it's server to the group. We'll hit next. We'll call it Mcast stream. Next. Load per stream block, just in case we want to change the rate later. Frames per second, 1,000. Well, here's nothing that throws people for a loop when they get to this end of the wizard here. There's no going to be receive ports. I mean, technically, 3.2 is going to. We have a host set up on Aspirant to do an IGMP join to those. So we're sending traffic from a multicast server to a group, right? So we're not going to have any receive ports. So we'll say finish. We got to hit apply. And then the last step is on our client, on our multicast client, we need to activate IGMP and tell them that we're interested in joining that group that we created, the 239.1.1.1 through .10. So if we go to devices on 3.2, which is a multicast client, we click on IGMP tab. If we slide over, we'll make it active. It says he's not a member right now, but if we apply it, he's still going to be non-member. We have to tell him. Notice this level warning message: multicast client, no group memberships exist. So, and it's telling you what to do here. Go up here, hit edit group membership. You want to click add. This also confuses people because there's nothing there. So we want to say add. But the one we created earlier is here, 239.1.1.1 through .10. So we'll click OK. Now it's there. We'll click close. We'll hit apply. Now we have to set up the router for multicast routing. So on a basic level, we have to say IP multicast routing. We'll globally enable it. Then on the interfaces, interface range gig, we'll say 00 through 1. IP PEM sparse dense mode. Now that we've got basic multicast set up, go back to Aspirant. It's not a member. We need to remember to hit start all devices, and we want to start the traffic from the multicast server to that group. Now that will start creating state in the network. So notice now the IGMP got passed on from the client. He's a member of that multicast group. So if we look at the router, he should be getting all those 10 groups. Show IP IGMP groups, and we have all our 10 groups. Show IP mroute. We have state. So that's how you generate traffic, multicast traffic with Aspirant. If you didn't have the luxury of having enough ports, you could always do static joins on gig 01 with IP IGMP join group, and then each group you want to join.